What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Jerrilyn Lake, aka Indescribable, checking in with my bestie for the restie.
Lynee Monet, and you are listening to the She Said It First podcast, an Urban One podcast on the Urban One Podcast Network, period.
Yes, ma'am. So we just celebrated a whole year of
I
doing
know
this podcast. It's crazy. What do you think is next? Like what? Because we done. I feel like y'all know. We done it all. Done it all.
I know, right? No, really. We really have done it all. We've done so much. I don't know. I just hope it's up from here. You know what I mean? That's all I hope is that it's up from here. Like we will continue to do great things outside of this as well. But, I definitely want to see the podcast take new levels and we get on different platforms and new opportunities. And hopefully we can bring y'all like some live shows because that would be dope if we could like really get to meet some of our supporters like in person and just do like a world tour. You know what I mean? Like a She Said It First world tour.
I feel like I like the sound of that, friend. I think
yes.
I love. Look, I'll get on a plane in a second. Where are we going?
Oh, all right, yeah.
Where are we going? Well, I mean, I'm excited. I know we starting a whole nother year, and I'm excited about it. But it does not change the fact that we got to talk about.
What irritated you, Frank? Because I feel like you came on here irritated. So
I'm very much irritated. I'm very much irritated.
You ain't say hi. You ain't say how you doing. You ain't say how your weekend was or nothing. You ain't say nothing about Italy. Like, girl, what did you be mad about? You just got back from Italy.
Because as a tourist, ain't nothing funny after I done been pissed off. Ain't shit to talk about. I don't care about your day. I don't care how you're doing. Right now, we gotta rectify this situation because it's two things.
It's two things
that pissed me out. First of all, let me be very transparent. Italy was a blast. I had a great time. I'm gonna do a vlog. That was
I can't wait to see it.
Happy birthday to me. So
can I get some quick highlights before you get there? Can I just get some? Because like Italy is not a joke, friend. You did that.
It was fun. You did that. I mean, we saw the Roman Coliseum. We saw all the, the Gucci, the Prada, the Dior store, all of that downtown Milan. We rode Vespas down through the Roman city, past the Vatican. Yes. The food was amazing. Apparently, they give you prosecco and like appetizers as soon as you sit down at the table, which I love free food and drink. Yes. But yeah, it was really one of the best. It was probably the best birthday I've ever had. So I mean, like I have zero complaints about the trip to Italy, and like I said, I do have a vlog coming. I'm posting it all over everywhere, Patreon, YouTube, and all of that stuff.
Love it.
But something about the airport bothers me, and I need to address it right now.
What happened?
Because the people that don't know where they're going and they stop in the middle of the aisle with all their luggage and their kids and dogs and whatever else they brought with them, standing right there looking at the boarding pass.
No, for real. And they stop right in front of you, like dead stop right
in the middle of traffic. Susan, get your ass out the way now, okay? Okay, because I got stuff to do, and you're at this point you're an obstacle. I'm about to hit you like a speed bump.
Oh,
okay,
Jesus.
So Lord. that's what irritated me, and child, just so many other things. Always something irritated me, but what irritated you this past week, friend?
Girl, I think I'm irritated with myself. I'm irritated with myself. like, no, because friend, I sat up there. No, I'm irritated. I can't even say what I did.
What did you do?
I sat up there and was like, I don't want to do nothing for my birthday. And now my birthday about to be next week, and now I want to do something for my birthday. And
okay, so where we going?
It's like, friend, why would I wait till the last minute? That's the thing that's pissing me off is to wait till the last minute. Not she, all right, y'all. When I tell you that,
I got some points. She will
book it and be like, okay, we leave it on this day. I already got my tickets. Girl, but I hate that I just waited all this time to be like, oh, I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to do nothing. And then my birthday came and I'm like, dang, I didn't plan anything. Like nothing. I planned.
But nothing. I thought we was gonna go to like
Turks and Caicos because we did say that.
Girl, I want to go to Spain. I love a good Caribbean, Central America, South America
trip. Around the Caribbean islands.
Well, then we can go. Okay, so we can go to Sicily. Sicily has beaches and shorelines and stuff like that. So there's water in Sicily. That's in Italy. But I don't know. I just feel like, girl, it's something about Europe. When I went over there, it's
Like,
something about.
were they nice? Do they like? Girl,
they like. Well, I don't know. I don't know if they like niggas, but I know that they was good at it. If they didn't like niggas, they could have fooled me because, girl, the way they told, my man, he was telling everybody it was my birthday, so people kept giving me free stuff. So they bringing out free bottles of wine, free cake. Girl brought a big chocolate cake. Like, they loved us. At least it looked like it. So I think that it'll be a good move. And you know how I am. I'm considering moving over there. So if you look up one day and you got to do this at 6:00 in the morning, don't say I didn't warn you.
Turbulence.
Exactly. It's gonna be giving turbulence. That's what I'm gonna be at. But you should do something for your birthday, friend. Like, it ain't even gotta be nothing too crazy. It could just be like, it could be like a little weekend trip, something driving distance. You want to get a cabin in the woods and just
How far can you drive?
How far can I drive?
Me. Like, how far should you drive for it to be considered like a weekend getaway?
I mean, like maybe a couple of hours, 3 hours maybe.
I don't like nothing in that proximity. I got to get.
Well, okay, so you don't have to, friend. So we're gonna after this call, we're gonna chat GPT this thing. They're gonna put together a whole itinerary for
I know
they are right in the outskirts of Washington DC area, and we're gonna find something for Miss Mamas to do for her birthday because friend, we don't not celebrate birthdays. We're gonna celebrate.
What happened to me? I don't know what happened. I think I got overwhelmed, friend, and we both been going.
It's a lot going on.
It's a lot going on. I think I got overwhelmed.
There's a lot going on. Me personally, holding on by faith at this point. So I don't know how your life is going, but when I tell you, I almost got on this call today and told y'all
$1 in a dream, child, for real.
I almost got on this call and said we're gonna have to schedule this for next week because the way the enemy has been on me, and it's okay though. It's okay though, because spoiler alert, I win.
Period.
So, anyway, because speaking of losing situations, you have to ask me, friend, because it's some stuff that I've been wanting to talk about. Girl, you got to ask me.
Girl, what happened?
Oh my God, child.
What?
One of the biggest plantations in the United States, child, just poof, up in flames, just burned to the ground, honey. And there have been mixed reviews, which is crazy. which is
crazy.
Why are the reviews mixed? But I'm gonna tell you,
enlighten me.
People aren't.
I just want to hear.
It's because the people aren't mixed. Let me just tell you. The South's largest antebellum mansion, Nottoway Plantation, it's in Iberville Parish, Louisiana. It burned to the ground this past weekend. Now, everybody know what a plantation is. That's where people basically kept slaves to farm. Okay. And I'm just saying because they rewriting our history.
Some in the back. Just talk to them in the back.
They're rewriting our history, and they're trying to make people think that we were indentured servants or slavery was a punishment for committing crimes. And it was not that. We were snatched forcibly from our homelands and forced into servitude with no pay, no reward, no nothing, separated from our family, friends, and all those things. And so some people are upset because they got married at the plantation and they've had all these heartwarming, touching, life-altering events at this plantation. And me personally, I think that's the tour we need to be on. We need to go burn them all down. That's what I think.
1,000%. Like, what an unfortunate turn of events. Girl, nobody cares. Why did you get married at a plantation? Like, that's what we really need to be talking about. Out of all the places you could have chose, you was like, that one right there where the slaves was at is really calling me. Like, I really need to get married.
Aesthetic.
It's the aesthetic for me. You know what I mean? Like, girl, nobody care about your memories. It's way more memories than that in that facility. So, like, I'm more than happy that it got burned down. I think it should have happened way sooner. But now that it's out, you know what I'm saying? We could just keep that same energy and keep going, you know?
Well, I think, too, a lot of these places have become shrines or monuments to darker times in our society. Like they have statues of Robert E. Lee and slave owners and all these people, rebellions, things that took place that basically immortalize slavery, slave owners, things like that. A very dark time in African-American history, but a darker one in white people's history because it ain't just our history. But, I think that people... they're trying to find a way to undo, and there's the state of the society right now. I think that there's nothing that you can undo. You can't have enough weddings or baby showers at these places and erase the stain of
the blood stains on the
murder,
walls, honey.
murder, slavery, torture. Like I was doing like crazy research for, I don't know why I went down a rabbit hole, but just learning about all the things that white people did to black people during slavery and a little bit after during Jim Crow.
Friend, I don't think I can do it. I can't walk around this earth without an attitude after doing that. Like, exactly. I don't know how to just go back to being normal after you learn so much more, because we already know a lot. But once you really start to deep dive and really get the information like that, it's like, I don't know how you just walk around like still cool. Like, ain't funny. Like,
and people be wanting to salvage these places where they fed our children to alligators, places where they hung us, places where they set our bodies on fire, let dogs attack us. This the place that y'all want to prop up. This the hill that y'all want to die on. So I'm not understanding. Like it completely pissed me off when I saw that there was any type of mixed reviews, because baby, goodbye and good riddance. What do you mean?
Good riddance. That should have been burned down a long time ago. Like I said, like the only people that should be out there is us having a backyard barbecue. Like that's the only reason for people to be there. As it's burning to the ground, we should just be out there frying chicken and ribs. Because why in the world? And catfish. You know what I'm saying? Who got the potato salad? Because it's just no way you think that that's cool and you want to keep it because of your memories. I can't stand behind it. I would never even speak up to even say that, because I would look at it as such a bigger issue. I'm able to see outside of myself when I see something like that.
Well, it's just a classic case of white people remembering things differently. To them, slavery wasn't really all that bad. It was a long time ago, and we need to forget about it. And to that, I say,
wasn't enslaved. The people who wasn't enslaved, and then they like to say stuff like, "Well, if y'all had the opportunity to like enslave us, y'all would have did the same thing." And what would we have used you for? Because it's not to clean, and it's definitely not to cook. So what exactly can you contribute? It's not the dress.
I'll tell you what I would have used them for. What? You go on down to that bank and you get this loan and you bring me this money.
Exactly.
That's what
you get the horse and the mule and bring it back.
You go up there, you give me some money.
Y'all can't do nothing. You know what?
But that's neither here nor there. I'm sorry. I didn't really get you riled up.
Or don't even get me started, because girl, I just hate the entitlement of it all. It just very much gives, like, because you did something wrong, you think I'm gonna walk in your shoes. Like, girl, we're not the same. We're not cut from the same cloth.
But we knew that, though. Like, honestly, I think that's why white people have been so hard pressed to keep black people in a position of oppression, because they think, given the opportunity, that they're going to get what they rightfully deserve. But black people, we've never been trained like that. We've never been brought up to go after people, be mean, evil, and spiteful. Now, are there evil people in the world? Absolutely, on all sides. But we always turn in the other cheek. And me personally, I think black people need to stop being so forgiving, because that's the reason why we have these situations that we have now with people doing things for decades at a time. And black people are like, well, it's just the way it is. Or, well, we got to forgive them. They didn't know no better. A lot of these people know better. That's why they're on the internet crying about a plantation burning down. They do know better. You know exactly what a plantation is used for. So that
absolutely. I know.
Girl, done pissed me off.
He done riled me right on out.
Oh my God. But so just switching gears just a little bit, I wanna skip to a little bit of girl talk, because I feel like we're leaning into it anyway, just getting a little too casual with our language. So we might as well just skip to Malou. So on this particular new segment called Girl Talk, we just want to have a little, this is just me and my homegirl just shooting the breeze real quick, because girl, I feel like we got a lot to change in the dating world. Now, I don't know what it looked like for you, but I can just tell you, we got to have a few more rules. We got to have some rules. And I think it needs to start with liking people who like you back.
Friend.
Just like people that like you back. Because I'm tired of being attacked on the internet because I'm not your type. Well, sir, go away.
And be mad down too, friend. In the DMs, pissed. Now you everything under the sun. Like, I can never do that though. I want what I want. And it ain't just giving charity. You ain't gonna just give me whatever you got. Okay? Because I ain't taking it.
I feel the same way. And I think that no matter, even if, because people will tell you, oh, you're asking for too much. Your expectations are unrealistic. Okay, well,
People
move
who
so
can't,
I can go
those are
find a
only people who
unicorn.
can't rise to the occasion who say that.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're right. I'm out of your league. Correct.
Exactly. So why don't you go over there with the girl with, whoever the girl is that you want, just go over there and be with her and stop trying to penalize me. Cause I think that's what a lot of people do. They get in a relationship with somebody because they like the idea of them, but they don't
Mm-hmm.
really like them. And
Yeah.
so when they get them and they realize, oh, that's not really what I want, they start putting pressure on this person to change. And I think we would get so much further in relationships if we just honest about what we want and what we need and stop trying to put unnecessary pressure on people because honey, these folks gonna do what they want to do.
I mean, that's so true. And also just realizing if that's not what you want, like being able to walk away. I think
Exactly.
like people end up going too deep. Like you realize
Mm-hmm.
this is not what you want. You realize this ain't really what you signed up for, and then you stay. And it's like in hopes that they will eventually be what you like got in your head. Oh, they once were. Not realizing
Mm-hmm.
like that ship has sailed. And when it sailed, girl, you better hop on it. Okay, and get off at the next stop. Like we don't have to just sit here and wait for things to miraculously change because they may
Mm-hmm.
never do that. So I think like
Right.
walking away when you realize like people no longer can meet your standards, you ain't really benefiting from the relationship, or you have no more to give. Like
Mm-hmm.
walk away. Walk
Yeah, just understand that like if it doesn't get any better, are you okay with where it is right now? Most
Yeah,
of the time
agree.
the answer be no. And if the answer is no, like especially to women, I want women to understand like there is no scarcity of men. I know people will tell you, oh, you're
They will
getting
say that.
older, you're in your 30s, you need to hurry up and have a kid. Your
Mm-hmm.
shelf life is decreasing
Girl.
and and shut the hell up talking to me.
Please,
There's
please,
always
because
there's
more
always
women
another
in their
one.
40 are having babies to date. So like it's just like it's unneeded. I think that sometimes we like to mix and mingle like old school versus new school. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just
Mhm.
worrying about the present and where we are right now. Like it's always like people love to use the Bible for when they want to, but then go over here and be wilding out doing wild things. It's
Mhm.
just like you can't use certain stuff for your benefit when it benefits you. Like you just should not do that. So like the whole you need to be fruitful and have kids, and you realize I'm over here, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm out here touring the world right now. I'm about to go on and she said it first, tour. I can't
That part.
carry no baby on tour. You know what I'm saying? I'm asking
All
for
right here
50K
on
or
my hip.
more. Right? Exactly. Like on the tour.
Sitting right
Like, no.
there.
I just don't agree with I think you should do what works for you, but you got to start with
Exactly.
that first. You know what I'm saying? Stop listening to so much outside noise and what everybody got to say, and everybody like chiming in on what you should do, and really figure out like where you are and what you need to be doing right now, because you trying to live for everybody else and you the one gonna have to take on the responsibilities of whatever that thing is that they want you to do. Like nobody's gonna step in to save you and help you. They're gonna give all that
Mm-hmm.
input.
Input.
They're
Mm-hmm.
gonna give you all that input, and then when the time comes, you're gonna be left on your own. Literally.
Absolutely. Every single time. That's a hard lesson that we have to learn the older we get is, you have to live your life for yourself. And there's
Mhm.
literally nobody who can do it for you. So that, like do what you want to do. Don't accept less than you deserve that you feel like you deserve because people are gonna talk about you anyway.
Yeah.
And once I learned that people was gonna talk about me anyway, I just started doing what I wanted to do. So now everybody gonna be pissed off, but it won't be me. So
Yeah.
in relation,
Exactly.
you know,
Exactly.
in relation to like dating and stuff like that, like you gotta do, don't worry about if somebody don't like your partner. Don't worry about if they not the typical,
Jerrilyn, can we put a pin right there?
yes,
Let's put a pin right there. I think that stopped a lot of women from like getting what they fully deserve. You know what I'm
absolutely. Worried
saying?
about what other people
Because
think.
always. Like that's where it stops. It's like I like them. I want to be with them, but my mama or my daddy don't like them. You know what I'm saying? Or
Mhm.
my best friend don't like them. Or like the thing you need to be figured out is do you like them? Because then if
Right.
you don't, then you move accordingly. But I think
And do
that
they
that's
like you? Because
do they like you? Because that right there, that one right there. Do
yeah.
they like you? I think y'all need to figure out who liking who over here and stop equating everybody else in it and trying to figure out, well, if they don't like this and they don't like that, and also like being super nitpicky. I think like
Mm.
sometimes we can tear people apart. And I think we forget that people are actually human. So like tearing people apart is not really, I don't think it's helpful, unless it's something that's really going to like stop you guys from being together. But tearing them apart and being like nitpicky about every single little teeny thing, that also stops you from progressing in relationships.
Absolutely, I agree. I mean, like I said, you just gotta do what works for you. Too many people out here living their lives for their parents or their friends or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
or
Mm-hmm.
society. A lot of times we get caught up in, what we think we should be doing.
Yeah.
And I'm 35. I'm single. I don't have any kids and all these other things. And you just allow the pressures of what everybody else wants for you or what they believe that you should want. You crumble under that weight. And man, listen, the most freeing thing that I have learned, and that this is one of the reasons why I travel so much now, is because I don't have kids and I'm not married. And I
Yeah.
think now is really the best time. And so to people that are single, like, enjoy that. It's nothing wrong with wanting to be coupled up, but baby, don't be in a rush to be with somebody just because, you think they might look good for you or they maybe look good on paper. Like when it comes to dating and stuff, you just got to find something that works for you. And if
Mm-hmm.
it's working for you, protect that as
Protected.
much as you can, because time you start letting people in your business,
Girl.
that's the time it's gonna start crumbling.
And that's it. And that's really it. The minute you let everybody
Yep.
else in the world in, girl, Lord, it's gonna bring everything to the forefront. You need to be secure before you let everybody else in, honey. Like, just know that this is your person, this is who you want to be with. You're sure about them. Be sure about people. Before you
Absolutely.
get the showing the world and all that stuff, just be sure about that person. And that way, when other people got comments and they want to tell you who you should be, and that don't, maybe you should, and it won't even matter because you already know where you want to be. So, yeah.
Well, just so y'all know, I don't care how sure I am. You're never gonna see that man.
But she gonna talk about him because I definitely heard my
Right.
man.
He's not gonna be no secret.
I'm about
But
to say we ain't gonna skip over that. What was, but he just brought it up, so we gonna
yeah,
talk about.
he ain't gonna be no secret. But you damn sure won't see him. Just let y'all know. People do too much and then they ask about him after you're gone and all that
Girl,
stuff. I ain't got
yeah.
time. Don't be asking me about nobody you ain't seen me with. But
Y'all
it's
so
so
nosy. Why
they
they
are
so
nosy.
nosy?
I
They so
told them.
nosy.
I told them y'all want to know my business. Y'all got to pay for it, so I put it right up
I
on
saw that
Patreon.
your Patreon, girl, because I was glued in. I said, "What happened?"
Put it right up on
You see if I
Patreon. Go
accidentally
on up
up the
there.
corner.
I'm gonna do behind the scene. I'm about to do all the receipts. It's gonna be up there. So if you if you just nosy and can't hide it, I'm going to get you a $5
I love
membership.
that.
And I'm gonna put everything you want to see up there. Only because too, and this is like a little brief segue because I know it's not on topic. I know it's not on the Runner Show to talk about today, but just to bring it up because I'm specifically sharing this information right now because I'm seeing a lot of conversation around the Cassie and Diddy stuff. And without going too deep into it, like it's frustrating to watch people attack this girl who was 19, at the time she started making these decisions with this person. And you don't like people talking about what Cassie should do, and you go in the barbershop and let 3 niggas skip you before you get your haircut. So you don't have the courage to stand up for yourself either, but you thinking she should when this man whooping her all around these elevators and basically responsible for her livelihood. So that's one of the main reasons why I shared that information.
You know what gets me, friend?
What's that?
Is the women. The dudes never
Yes.
surprise me. I'm never surprised by the dudes, but it's the women. And it's specifically the older women. It be like, oh, and this is how y'all have these, let me not cuss. This is how y'all raise these type of men. Because this is what you tell people about your son that's doing life because he killed his girlfriend, right? You be like, well, she was always over here and it was always something about her that I didn't like. And if something was going on, she should have told me how. How could she ever talk to you? She could never talk to you. You never created a safe space for none of these women who dealt with that type of person. But these older women get on these platforms and be like, what was her name? Tia Kemp?
Tia Kemp, is that Rick Ross' baby mama?
Yeah.
I think so.
She got on him, was kind of like blaming Cassie and kind of like talking about, right. And I'm like, girl, I know you didn't just get on him. Was like, I don't know. Something about it just seemed weird. It just seemed like maybe, Diddy didn't do. And it's like, I'm the one with all the mouth. The one who got all the mouth in the world is like, I don't know. I just feel like maybe because if it was me, we know linebacker, you would have fought. We know, but like,
but like that's the thing. You wouldn't have. You know what I'm saying? Like people like to say what they would, could, should do in certain situations, but you didn't have that kind of access. You weren't in that type of scenario. And I've been on, like, I've dealt with people who had money and power and resources and things like this. And you think that you can just easily walk away. It's not that. It's not that simple. And
It's
so
not. And he
I'm
had
not
her whole
saying
career
that
in his hands. Like the girl was
exactly.
trying to be a superstar. This was Diddy. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
he's connected to so many people in the industry. And I'm not saying no, I'm saying whatever I'm saying, because at the end of the day, I would never bash a woman for coming forth. You know what I'm saying?
right,
And telling her truth and then seeing a video of him actually doing what she said he
right,
did to her. How much
right,
more proof do you need? You needed to be at the Freakniks. Did that you
right.
needed the baby oil. You needed to be lathered up in order for you to understand what she was going through.
But you know, people don't want to understand. People, it's easier to blame the victim than it is to accept that a lot of men are monsters. Now, obviously, we know that all men aren't, but it's enough
Right.
of them. It's enough of
Yeah.
them to remain cautious. And to the people that say, well, why didn't she say something 10 years ago? Look at how y'all treating her now. Like, look at how y'all always treat people that come forward about their abuse. You never believe them. You say they asked for it. You find ways to excuse the perpetrator's behavior and say that, oh, well, if she didn't like it, she should have just left. Look what happened when she tried to leave, is all I'm saying. I don't know what happened at none of the freak offs because I wasn't invited, nor would I ever attend.
Thank you.
But what I do know is that it's not as simple as saying no sometimes when you're in a situation with somebody. And let's be clear, he had her in like a 10 album deal at 19 years old.
That's
Okay.
crazy.
She thinking she about to be a superstar, like you said. He got her in this crazy deal and then pursuing her romantically at the same time.
Yep.
Y'all, that is narcissism, it is control, and it is emotional abuse. Is all I'm saying. I can't speak to nothing else that was going on, but what I'm saying is that I understand the power dynamic already before y'all give me any proof or receipts or anything. I understand the power dynamic already. It's the same reason why your history teacher got in trouble for flirting with your senior high school friends.
Hello?
Even though they was 18, even though that was legal, we still understand the power dynamic is off and something is wrong there. So I just hope that I hope she's covered during this time. I know she's got an amazing husband next to her.
Yes,
And hopefully her support
absolutely.
system is pulling up for her like in droves, because I just know this situation is crazy. And that's the reason why I chose to speak out about it, because I was like, dang, I really hate, like she's not going to see a lot of people comments. Halle Bailey, Meg Thee Stallion, they're not going to see that stuff.
Meg the Stallion. And we're talking about, I'm sorry, can we pivot for a hot second? Not even pivot, because this is all in the same round. You literally said, why did she wait so long, Cassie, to say something? And she got blamed for it, right? But then you have Meg the Stallion, who said something almost immediately. And still
got blamed.
It's like people hate her for speaking up. It's like, why would you ever say something, girl? You know they saying that Kelsey was the person who shot her, and then Tory Lanez got stabbed up in jail. I don't know what's going on with that.
It's all a mess. But then on top, even these two incidents are not isolated, because now you have Halle Bailey, who's come out against DDG, and people are now, she decided to leave and take her baby. And you know what the criticism is? Well, you should have never been dealing with him in the first place. And this is why I don't argue with niggas on the internet, because women cannot win. It does not matter. They're not going to believe you until you are dead. Until one of these people kill you, that's when they'll believe you. And so I'll be like, well, I don't even go back and forth with default. But I'm going to say, what I say in support of victims always, because the amount of people that are victims that justifiably have proof that someone harmed them in any way is way more than people that make false accusations. And I hate when people try to throw that out there. Well, people lie all the time. Yeah, well, she's not lying. We saw him whoop the hell out of her in front of the elevator.
Exactly. Like, that's the thing I don't understand. We seen Meg like in the hospital.
We saw her.
Like with all the doctor report. Like we seen it. We seen her foot. We seen the doctor report. We seen the helicopters. We seen it. Like I'm thrown off. But friend, I just want to commend you. I just want to commend you, because you telling your story, or even being open to telling your story. And I know how private you are. You know what I'm saying? Even being open to telling your story and talking about it, I just commend you and I thank you. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that women look at you as someone who they just probably feel like can't relate.
Probably.
You
But
know
let
what
me
I'm
tell
saying?
you.
Exactly, who just can't relate, who would never go through because you're just strong. You're
Mm.
just a strong woman. That's it. You're
Well,
just
I don't
strong.
want to be. I think,
Me
and
neither.
that's
Me
part of the
neither.
issue too. Like people are covering it up. They're suffering in silence. They feel
Hmm.
alone, and they feel like people aren't going to believe them. But I honestly, like, girl, ever since I started talking about it, I've been having nightmares. So I said I'm going to wrap this segment up, and I'm not going to talk about it anymore because
Yeah,
my mental health obviously is way more important. But it's just
absolutely.
one of those things where it felt good to get it out and say my piece about it because I've been in spaces having to work with either him or somebody close to him and people whispering about me behind my back and it getting back to me. And I
Mm-hmm.
didn't say anything. Him texting my
Mm-hmm.
phone asking me to remove content from my page, thinking it's about
Mm-hmm.
him. I didn't say anything. Whole time he running back and forth talking about me behind my back to whomever will listen. And I'm just like, bro, I could have blasted you and I didn't. So now I see how people are, responding to this. And I'm like, this is why people don't say nothing. Because look how
Yeah.
y'all rip people apart. And I said, I'd be damned if y'all do it for free. So go to my Patreon.
Hello. Hello. Because you're going to have to pay. You will
At
pay to
this
hear this
point,
story.
but
Ugh,
hopefully other people will have the strength to come forward.
courage.
You shouldn't be strong. You know what I'm saying? If you're suffering at the hands of anybody, male, female, anybody, if somebody is treating you unjustly, you should not have to go through that alone. And so hopefully you feel, I mean, you ain't got to tell me all your business, but if you want somebody to listen, I
Right. I listen. Put me in. Okay.
I
Tell me in
listen.
the group chat. I listen for sure.
Right.
I
We
will
would
listen.
definitely listen. Well, I hope, like I said, hopefully she's got people around her that are helping her through this time, Cassie and Halle and Meg and everybody,
Yeah.
anybody who's going through that. There's another thing that's been happening right here in Atlanta that I wanted to touch on too, just briefly. And I really hate that this episode is kind of about, mistreatment of
That.
people.
Yeah.
But, here we go. So there's a story of Adriana Smith in the Atlanta metro area is a 30-year-old registered nurse. She's been brain dead for the last 90 days. She
Mhm.
complained about headaches and went to the hospital and they gave her some medication. They did no scans and they sent her home. Her boyfriend discovered her in the bed gasping for air. Now she's being kept alive because she was 9 weeks pregnant after she became brain dead. With Georgia's heartbeat law, it says that abortion is banned once cardiac activity is detected, which is typically at 6 weeks. So, of course, the family is heartbroken. Women in many states are being really cautious about having children due to the situations like this. And with Donald Trump wanting to incentivize women to have children, like, how do you feel about this? Because I know you've been very vocal about, like wanting to have kids, and I'd be like, F them kids. Not like I don't, like I hate kids, but like this is a concern because we don't even have they're limiting access to resources that women could need. It's a very nuanced situation. Like
Mhm.
how do we maneuver something like this when they putting this kind of pressure on women?
Well, first I'd like to say, I think I've changed my mind. I'm not gonna lie.
Friend, what happened, friend?
Yeah, I don't think I'm feeling that no more. It could be
I don't
mood.
blame you.
But I just, the more I think about it, I just want something different. You know what I'm saying? Like I think I'm
Mhm.
just in a different headspace right now. That I'm not really feeling that anymore. So, yeah, that's just where I'm at. So understand right now that ship is cruising. Not sailing, but
Mhm.
cruising. I still might got a
Child.
chance to get on it. But I'm good. I just think, like I said, I don't know, just the more thought about it, I don't know. We'll talk offline. But
Child, because the way listen, it's rough over here. It's not safe or affordable to have children in this country anymore.
mm-mm,
And I think
mm-mm.
like we all need to just shut it down. Like put a lock on it, chastity belt, whatever you feel like you need to do. Stop letting these people get you pregnant because it is scary out here. And I
Mm-hmm.
like we don't even
Mm-hmm.
have enough protections in place. Like even like the situation with Halle and DDG, like she probably thought she was having a baby with somebody that she loved, maybe. Now he on the internet arguing with an AI version of her about having to see his son.
Girl, what? Get out of here now. Get
I
out.
wish I wish I could say psych, but this really
Friend,
happened.
what? I
Yeah.
can't. I can't with him. But for real, can I
They
just be honest?
unstable.
He seemed goofy anyway. I'm
He's very
sorry.
goofy.
He
He's very
give me
goofy.
goofball. You know what I mean? And I hate, because I think he was, of course, jealous of her. I don't think it takes anyone to
Absolutely.
notice that man was jealous of her. But she definitely give me, so like, I don't know how innocent that girl is, but she does come off as someone who's innocent, or just like more mild mannered. Than being with a goofball. I think he's such a goofball. I just don't see the interest there. But sometimes opposites attract. Something that you might be mild mannered and might be attracted to someone who's an extrovert and who needs all that attention. Because he give me attention seeker. So like, she don't need that. She's pretty. You know what I'm saying? She kind of just exists and people will notice who she is. But yeah, I don't know. Back to this woman. Are they keeping her on life support for 9 months?
I think that's the case.
That is inhumane.
I think that's the case. And it's crazy because if she never wakes up and you're telling me that this man, you're going to force this man to raise this child alone. And I'm sure she got family, and hopefully she got family and stuff. But they saying that they're going to keep her alive until the baby can live outside.
Until she's 32 weeks pregnant. She's 21 weeks now.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Once people are declared brain dead, it's the family's decision to pull the plug or not. So because of this law, they're taking the family's decision away. They're not just letting her go peacefully. They're forcing her to carry this baby. And I guess, I don't know if they was excited about it or whatever, but I wouldn't want to be forced to,
Jerrilyn.
They use her as an incubator.
Right. I'm like, a dead person is about to have a baby. That is terrifying.
Yeah.
I just know, of course, I would never stand behind this, like ever. I definitely think that people need to revisit the laws and what can be done. You know what I mean? I think the worst part about the laws is that sometimes people who are narrow-minded make them, and so they can't think about other possibilities outside of the fact of you lay down and now you need to, had a baby. You made the bed, now you got to lay in it, and that's not always the case. We always talk about being great. That situation could arise. Sometimes you could just be with your person, your partner, your husband, your wife, whatever, and she could just not be able to go through with the entire pregnancy, and now she has to have an abortion. It's not because she wanted to, it just didn't go through. You know what I'm saying? And then you have a situation like this, which to me is horrific. This is horrific to me. And then you have a situation like this that nobody ever even took time to even think about. I just hate that her body has to go through this and she's not even alive. Like, I just don't. It's so inhumane. I can't even talk about it. It's like, why would you want to do that to somebody?
Well, I think the decision should have been the families. Like, if this man wants to keep this woman alive to birth their child, then let him make that decision. But forcing this on them without any consultation, I think it's kind of crazy. I think it's kind of crazy.
It's crazy. It's ridiculous. I just don't agree either way. And I know unless the baby was kind of already pretty much full term, you know what I mean? But 9 weeks?
Yeah. So they're keeping her till they're trying to keep her to 32, and she's at 21 right now.
What's happening? And you see what I'm saying? And that's why I changed my mind. This is exactly why when you said that, it started crawling up my back like, hell no. Yeah. I don't want no.
It's a sticky situation now. Like, you don't even,
because being this age and trying to have a kid and something go wrong and I lose my life, I can't even play like that. I can't play. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
force me to carry the baby while I'm unconscious. And I can't imagine what I know she has another son. I can't imagine what her son, her parents and, her family is just going through right now, just having to see her there and dealing with this. So, sending my love and my thoughts and prayers out to this whole situation, everybody involved, because like that has to be a very challenging time to know that basically the government has once again butted their way into your private medical business.
Women's private medical business. Right. Because they don't make any rules for men. 0 rules for men.
Yeah, them the ones that need the rules, because the fact that they don't hire a lot of them at morgues and funeral homes because they be sleeping with the cadavers is crazy.
It's crazy.
That's who need the rules. Men need reproductive restrictions. That's who need the restrictions, not women.
Agreed.
out
Agreed.
here
I think if a
making all these
guy
children.
having kids by different women, like just continuously, I have an issue with that. Never any rules for men. They get to run amok.
Dr. Umar said it best.
What did he say?
You're gonna have to put them to sleep for good.
No, seriously.
Dr. Umar said you're gonna have to put them down. Okay. And I tend to agree. I'm inclined to agree just a little bit. But I guess trying to switch gears to something a little more lighthearted. Let's talk about how we are spending our money, which is obviously the wrong way because child, about 70 to 75% of global luxury spending comes from middle and lower income consumers, often labeled aspirational buyers who save up to afford high-end goods. This is according to a report from Bain and Company. Now, with inflation going on, they've seen a decline in luxury items, but we know that Black people contribute to, the majority of the sales of these luxury brands.
Yeah.
Why do you think we love living outside our means so much? Because what is the problem? Is it the image of
course?
well,
and you, girl, that Keeping Up with the Joneses was bought out years ago, and that's what people been chasing after for years. It's just like Keeping Up with the Joneses, wanting to attract certain type of women or certain type of men, or realizing when you do these things, it does actually attract that type of attention. Seeing yourself like someone, maybe like a celebrity, and being like, I could get that. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want that lifestyle. People glorify these lavish lifestyles and make it seem like you got to have all this money. And so people go after it, even though they be so broke. I have never been materialistic. I know how to look nice on a budget, friend. I will splurge on some perfume. That is my guilty pleasure, and perfume be expensive. But just needing all the name brands has never been a thing for me, but it has when I did work. I told you I work for a nonprofit, right? Like years ago or whatever. And so, it's a nonprofit. That means we subsidize your rent, like that. And every single last one of them kids had on Jordans. She would be Gucci down to the socks. Okay. Like she would have her, it just is always trying to portray an image that's not real. And I think I don't know if it's for them. I never think it's for them. I always think it's about what they want other people to see when they look at them.
Absolutely. That's absolutely the case. That brings me back to what we talked about earlier. You have to live your life for yourself. If you close to getting evicted, maybe don't buy that second pair of Jordans. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe skip the club this weekend. And I think, people just have become so used to living check to check. And people lack discipline. People lack discipline, and we are people pleasers, and we are ashamed of our financial status. So we pretend to have more than we actually do. And I'll tell you this now: when I went to Milan, that's like, oh, luxury brand capital of the world. I didn't go in a single one of them stores. Now I took pictures.
Yeah. See, you know what I'm
But
saying?
the one thing I did do though, the one thing I did do that was so fun is I did not know that Ralph Lauren had a restaurant.
Oh, what they selling there?
Food, drinks. It was like a little bar.
Horse meat.
No, not horse meat.
It
was regular protein.
But I thought they were trying to stay on brand.
No, it was lit though, girl. It was like a little bar where you walk in. Of course, everything branded with Ralph Lauren, logos and stuff. But it was actually very nice. It was well put together, and I like experiences like that. It wasn't really super expensive either because it's just drinks and like little light plates, or whatever. But I just remember looking at all these stores, and I was like, I don't know. We didn't grow up with a whole lot, so I've never been, and my parents never taught us to care about stuff like that. So the most I'm gonna do, I got a bunch of J's because that was when I was a kid. I wanted sneakers and we couldn't afford them. So as an adult with childhood wounds,
yeah, not for real.
I bought with the shoes.
I did the same thing, except for I just got connected with wig companies. Girl, if I had to pay for these wigs, child, I would be broke. I would really, because my hair gonna be done. My hair is going to be done. But I just decided, okay, connect with wig companies to take that expense off of me, so it's no longer. Right. But prior to Jerrilyn, I'm telling you, the wigs is expensive, friend. We're talking hundreds of dollars. I'm sure the wigs cost the same amount as the J's. If not,
Yeah.
depending
No,
on
wigs are
what you
way
want.
more because I buy, I have some little feet. I buy kids shoe. Everybody know I go to the
Mhm.
kids section and get my J's for about $80, $90. A hundred
Cheating
at the
over
most.
there cheating.
100 at the most, baby. If it get too high, I ain't buying it because I'm still cheapo depot over here. But like I think like with the cost of living and inflation, as I mentioned, like it's not feasible to keep up with the Joneses anymore. You need to make sure that you can survive. And I was talking to somebody the other day, like just about living down here. Atlanta is getting so crazy priced that people are being literally priced out of the city. Like
For real?
it's too expensive to stay downtown. I know somebody who mortgages like 3 grand.
Get
And
the hell out.
and it's
Get
not
out.
and it's not a huge mansion like these high ass condos and these little living spaces. Child, when I say I have researched so much about living elsewhere, and it's not because I can't afford it. It's because
Mhm.
who wants to put the pressure on themselves to have to keep up when we know it's not getting better.
Right.
Like the cost of living is going to keep increasing because the
Mhm.
wig makers, they having to buy new products. These
Yep.
products got tariffs on them now. So now
Yep.
they're gonna have to increase the cost of their wigs
Yep.
and their services to
Yep.
offset, some of this stuff. So like it's not getting better over here, folks.
Mhm. And then y'all just come to me. If you can't get them, tariffs. Ain't no tariffs where I'm at. I'm in the US. So if you need to purchase a wig, I do have that.
She do sell them now.
I
Got them
do
for the
sell them.
low. Got them for the low, low, low. Got them. They ain't gonna be low. I can promise you that.
Right.
Before I start lying, they're not gonna be low. But you'll have a friendly interaction.
You
Customer
will
service
have
will be great.
friendly. I can guarantee now that I can stand behind.
Customer service will be great. Wig quality will be phenomenal.
Okay. All right. No
But you're
terms
gonna
or
pay
miss.
for it. So
Okay.
since everything is getting crazy though, friend, like you gotta have what I call an effort number. My effort number is the number that it would take. How much money would it take for you to say, you know what? I ain't tripping no more. I'm either quitting my job, I'm moving away, I'm not gonna work again.
We
Like
ain't
what
got no
is your
job, Tommy. Okay, I'm sorry. So sorry, we don't have jobs. Right.
as I sit here
Continue.
and think about it.
Continue.
Sit here thinking about it. I am quite unemployed. I am unemployed. But no, like my effort number is the number of money that it would take for me to not work again. And I think that number for me might be like 20 million. And I say that because
Jerrilyn, why
what?
was
That's your number two?
yes, that is creepy. I
Because
don't
we
like that. I
twins.
don't like it.
My
Jerrilyn,
number is
literally,
20 million. Yes.
I was waiting for you to ask me because that was the number. I'm like, for me to feel the most like I don't have to lift a finger, do nothing,
Yeah.
and like, and it ain't because I want to spend 20 million. It's just like
Yeah.
I know that can sustain me throughout the rest of
Yeah.
my life. Yes.
Well, to use it to invest and buy properties and do other things that's gonna give you a return on that money. Like I don't want to just
Mhm.
coast off 20 million for the rest of my life. I want to build facilities where I can house homeless people and donate and have one of my goals is to either a battered women's shelter or housing homeless people, rehabilitating people that may have be homeless due to drug usage. So offering them a place where they can come, they can rehab, and it doesn't cost them or their family. If they truly, truly want it, the services will be there for them. And what pisses me off about millionaires and billionaires?
What? They don't
Y'all
never
got
give back.
y'all got the money to do this
Yeah,
stuff.
they
Excuse
don't
me.
never do that. Oh,
And you
you
never
did
do that.
that. And I'm
But
like,
you
yeah, because they don't never do that.
but you bought your second yacht this quarter. And
Child. Yeah.
then write it
Yeah.
all off at the end of the year. So what's your
Yeah.
effort number is 20
It's
million.
definitely 20 mil. And I'm not gonna lie, friend. I'm gonna coast a little bit. I'm gonna coast.
Now I'm planning trips every month.
Yes. I was like, and you can double up because you're already doing that every month, friend.
Yeah.
You can do 2 trips every
That's
month.
it.
You know what
Or
I'm
my
saying?
trips can be longer.
Hello?
Like
Now
I
you
can
can say
take
a month.
2 or 3 weeks I can't do 2 or 3 weeks every month because that's insane. I would never see my family. But with $20 million, who needs family? No,
Right. No, for real. No, seriously. No, girl, I'm gonna coast. I'm gonna have a great when I first get the 20 mil, I'm gonna have to put in a disc or something. Okay, because this part right here, we're gonna have fun with that. I'm gonna live a little bit. But
Absolutely.
just like you, I want this is for girls. So teenage girls. a building for them. And it's really just to help them get on their feet and give them some type of like entry into the world. Like a lot of them have kids young. I want to have a daycare there. You know what I mean? Like just allow them to get like trades, or if they want to go to college, help them with the application. Like just that extra footing there to help you on the right path and have actual connections, because my goal is to do this and have actual connections. If you say you want to work at a hair salon, I want people from a hair salon to really be interested in hiring you and teaching you the trade. So like having like a catalog of people who really can help, you know. So mine is more so for teen girls and things like this. So I definitely want to do that. Of course, buy property. For sure, buy property. Probably do like Airbnbs or just do flip. I could flip some houses. I could, you know what I'm saying? A little bit of this, a little bit of that. And travel, like you said. And I don't think I would live in the United States. Like that at that point, there would be no point. There would literally be
what, $20 million? The first property I'm gonna buy is gonna be in Spain or Portugal.
You're not playing about Spain.
I'm not.
We're gonna be in Spain.
I'm not. I have to go because it's like it's a gateway. It's a gateway country. Once you get a visa to go to Spain, you can go to, I think it's like, maybe, I don't want to misquote the number, but I know that there's a group of particular countries and they're all lumped in to this sector. And if you get this one particular visa, it's called a digital nomad visa. You can travel within these countries. So you won't have to get temporary visas. You can just use them as like passports, as long as you're staying, I think, less than 90 days. So it'll open you up to like most of Europe. And so like, girl, I'm telling you, when I'm going to Italy and just seeing people get up and not be stressed and rushing to go places, eating 4-course meals, and the city is so walkable that you don't gain weight. Your food comes out the same day because it's not processed full of MSG and all these other chemicals. Like, girl.
Wow. A blessing.
Man, we need to go. We need to.
Yes. I'm like, hello? Because like now.
We need to go.
Now I need to be involved because I've never been to Europe. I always wanted to go. Like, oh my God, it just sounds so peaceful. I like things that sound peaceful. You know what I'm saying? I could live vicariously through you because it just seemed like you was in bliss.
You don't have to, friend. I'm telling you, we can do it. And then too, like, we have freedom. You know what I'm saying? Like, because of what we do, we have a little more freedom. And so I think people don't understand how inexpensive travel can be sometimes if you plan it and you budget it correctly. If you use a lot of these third-party grouping sites, you know, they'll give you everything you need for $1,000, you know, $1,500. And you don't, you know, as long as you're responsible, you know, you can pull it off. We may have spent $500.
Because friend, tell them how much you spent to go to Italy. They're not going to believe you.
So first of all, I said I was going to go to Italy in December, and I watched these numbers for like 4 months. So it's not like I just popped up one day and decided I was going to go. But the day that I booked, I was on Expedia. I got a nonstop direct flight on Delta, right? So that's a 9-hour flight coming and going. I got a hotel room that was about 15 minutes away from the airport. And I also got a rental car. All of this was like $1,300 for 5 days.
Yeah.
So
unbelievable. Like unbelievable. And her also
this was through
booking
Expedia
in advance. Oh,
yes, booking in advance and through Expedia. And you don't have to use Expedia, but you can never make me hate Expedia because I done booked way too many trips through Expedia. So, you know, like I tell people, if you plan it and you budget and you actually research and do it in enough time, like you could end up a lot of different places. And I know, you know, people got jobs and PTO and stuff. Yeah. But now is a perfect time to tell y'all that we're going to Thailand in March.
1,000%, because that's exactly where I was going.
Get on it right now.
That being said, why get on it right now? Thailand, okay? March.
We don't have a whole lot. The 14th through the 21st, we don't have a whole lot of space, but we do have early bird spots still left. Yeah. So if you book now, I think if you book before the 21st, you should get $350 off. But we only got 8 of them slots. So if you're going to do it, you need to go ahead and do it. And just remember that your flight is not covered. But once you get to the hotel, we got you the rest of the way, you know. So just keep that in mind. And, you know, we're doing the Turbulent series. And so we really want to include you guys in that as well. And I think that's what part of the trip to Thailand is going to be. So we're excited about it.
Like, we're very excited. Like, we're very excited.
We can't wait to go.
Right? We're ready to go now. Like, March can't get here fast enough. I hope you with us. Like, that just needs to be it, y'all. treat yourself. Don't overthink it. Just feel like it's so much going on in the world. Don't you want to be anywhere but the USA? Don't you want to be somewhere else? Okay, you done did this. You done did the United States. You should go somewhere else and have a grand time. And guess what? Don't nobody know you over there. You could change your name.
That's it.
Don't nobody know nothing about you. You could be whoever you want to be. And ain't nobody gonna say nothing because we don't even know. Okay,
That's
so
it.
like treat yourself.
And be honest, we don't care. We're gonna be
don't
drunk.
care. Okay, because I'm gonna be somebody else. Don't tell nobody you know me either. I don't care what you're seeing online.
I'm gonna be drunk. I'm telling you right now. So you go get in your room and you get what you need, your clothes and your swimsuits and whatever else you want. And meet me at the bar at 6 p.m.
That's it. It's very simple. It's very simple.
No, I can't wait. I'm excited about it. We got a lot of stuff going on. Like I said, we celebrated a year, guys. And so this is just the beginning of it. Me and Lynee got so much stuff, like we just got stuff going on. So you really just need to keep up with us and catch us when you can, because we need to be on a tour and we want you guys to be there with us. So
absolutely. And speaking of keeping up,
yes,
okay, you can catch us here every Thursday.
If
you really want to keep up with this, we're going to be here every Thursday, okay, on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcast. The only thing you got to do is make sure you like, comment, and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you will know every time we upload, okay? And then you can just follow our social media handles, okay? Mine is there and Jerrilyn's is right there. We make it very easy for you to find. All right, y'all. Peace.
Bye.